That's right. This breaking news just out now from New York, north of New York City, where a suspicious package described as an IED, that is an improvised explosive device, has reportedly been found near the home of Hillary and Bill Clinton. That's in Chappaqua, New York, just north of the city here. Our law and justice correspondent, Shimon Prokupecz, joins us now live. What do we know about this package, Shimon?
Well, we're not only hearing about this suspicious package that you're just describing there now outside of Hillary Clinton's home in New York. We're now getting word from the Secret Service that they also intercepted a second suspicious package, which was addressed to former President Barack Obama. That package, that suspicious package, was intercepted by the Secret Service here in Washington, D.C. Now, the Secret Service put out a statement saying that the packages, both the Hillary Clinton, they confirmed that there was a suspicious package that was found at the home of Hillary Clinton. I'm told by officials that that was found around 1 a.m. Outside of Hillary Clinton's home. Both these packages, according to the Secret Service, were identified during routine mail screening procedures as potential explosive devices and were appropriately handled as such. The Secret Service says that both Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton did not receive the packages, nor were they at risk of receiving them. And now the Secret Service and obviously the FBI and the local officials in New York are all investigating this. Now, what's interesting about this, Jim, of course, is that this comes just days after a pipe bomb, what is suspected to be a pipe bomb, was found at the home of George Soros in New York. That's in Bedford, New York, not far from the home of Hillary Clinton, in Chappaqua, New York, also in Westchester. So certainly something very concerning here is going on. The FBI's Joint Terrorism Task Force is heavily involved in this investigation with the Secret Service and local officials. And obviously, we don't know where this investigation stands, if this is connected to the pipe bomb that was found at George Soros's home, but clearly a serious investigation here at this point, Jim. The other thing, it's important to know that we don't have any description exactly what the kind of explosive device this was, who exactly obviously is behind this, if there were any notes that were delivered with these packages. We know that the one that was sent to George Soros in New York, in Bedford, New York, came in the mail. It came in a package. It was described as explosive material with some pipe bomb around it, some kind of metalling that was around the explosive devices. So obviously a serious concern here for law enforcement, trying to figure out if all of three incidents now connected to perhaps an individual or perhaps individuals who are now behind this. So obviously a serious investigation now underway here, Jim, by the Secret Service and the FBI.
No question, Shimon. So to be clear, it's three packages, devices, Soros, and then others in the last 24 hours intended for Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama. For the former president and the former Secretary of State, the Secret Service, as a matter of course, will screen mail coming in. Is that right? And that's how they caught these in effect here.
That's exactly right. That is what the Secret Service is telling us. They say that late on October 23rd, they recovered a single package addressed to former First Lady Hillary Clinton in Westchester County. And then early this morning, they discovered a second package addressed to former President Barack Obama. Now, obviously, the Secret Service has all sorts of precautions in place. They have it here in Washington, D.C. as well. Mail is not directly sent to people that they protect, what they call protectees. They usually send it to an off-site location where it's screened, checked for explosive material, perhaps other chemical components, just to make sure that no one is trying to harm the person that is receiving this mail. Yeah. So clearly that system was in place here and that worked. And now the effort underway to see perhaps, if there are other packages that have been sent. Look, I know that the George Soros situation from the other night, what I was told by law enforcement, that was a serious concern that there were going to be other packages sent to other people, to George Soros. So law enforcement has been on the lookout for this kind of situation. They certainly were alarmed over what happened to George Soros. So here again, certainly as Jim, you point out, they were here, the procedures in place, certainly effective.
Mm-hmm. Well, listen, in 24 hours, a former president, former Secretary of State, targeted here, and then, of course, the prior one targeting George Soros.
Yeah, major Democratic donor, and often
often a target of the president.
Exactly.
Shimon Prokupecz, thanks very much. We know you're going to continue to follow the story.
Matthew Horace is with us. He's a retired ATF executive. He joins us on the phone. So, Matthew, given what Jim and Shimon just laid out, these three suspicious packages, one being, an explosive device pipe bomb to George Soros's house in the mailbox in the last 24 hours. If you're with ATF and if you're with the Secret Service and you're looking at all of these, what are the similarities you're looking for to find out if these were all from the same person or group of people? And what are you doing to track down that person or group?
Well, first they're going to be looking to try to determine if these devices, in fact, are the same or similar or separate and apart. They want to separate the incidents as being distinctly, uniquely separate or a part of a larger sort of issue here. They're going to try to determine where the devices came from, where they were mailed from. They're going to be drawing fingerprints. They're going to be sending them to their labs to dismantle the devices and try to determine how they were made, what type of explosive were used, if there was an explosive, in fact, in there, what type of detonation device, what handwriting. So it's very, very early on in the investigation right now, and there's a lot of work that needs to be done to pull this together.
Well, listen, as they look at this as well, when the Secret Service, listen, they're always vigilant for these kinds of threats going forward. Can you say, were the former president or the former Secretary of State in danger at any time?
No, I can't say that at this point. But what we can say is that there are enough screening processes in place to do exactly what happened here, to make sure that things like this get screened out early on and that these devices don't get anywhere near their intended target.
Thank you very much, Matthew Horace. Again, the breaking news, you have these two suspicious packages in the last 24 hours delivered to former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, former President Barack Obama, and just yesterday to George Soros as well. We'll update you as soon as we get more. Very concerning. Quick break. We'll be right back.